What's going on, everyone? What an action-packed, fun-filled, crazy, turbulent, interesting day. Obviously today was a Fed meeting. We had him speaking at 2 p.m. and he got interviewed by this guy right here. Look at this smiling little piece of crack. Nick Timiraros. Nick, really? You want to could you find anything more bearish to ask the guy? Oh, how do you feel about immigration? We don't care about immigration. All right? Let the immigrants come into the country. Let us be labor workers for a year, or for a generation. Next generation will be your doctors and business owners. Simple. All right? Shut up about immigration. This guy asked him the most bearish questions possible. And Fed Powell had no other thing to do other than answer these questions. Look at this guy, you smiling guy, bro. The market should have pumped above 410, should have pumped above 411 today. But because Nick Timiraros, we could not do that. So in today's video, we're going to talk about exactly what Powell said during the answering of those questions. We're going to go over the next steps, in my opinion, for the SPY, the NASDAQ, the IWM, and the crypto markets. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. All right, so clearly the market was bullish today, right? But there are a few things that we need to cover in terms of what the Fed Powell said. So let's go ahead and talk about that right now. He said three main things today. Number one, he said that there would be pain involved in restoring price stability. That is very, very bearish. It's not a good sign. All right. Number two, he said that there's not much that the Fed could do about supply and demand problems. That's also very, very bearish, guys. And then number three, he again started talking about a soft-ish landing. And then he started giving an analogy about an airplane. Like, oh, sometimes, if the airplane has a bad landing, sometimes if it's soft, you don't even feel it. But we don't want to hear any of that stuff. So he was forced to answer these very, very dramatic and disruptive questions. And he answered them in a very bearish way. So what that ended up doing to the market, what I thought was going to end up happening was we were going to shoot upwards and give shorts a better opportunity to go short. And that's exactly what would happen. So we went long as soon as basically the market, as soon as the Fed meeting ended, or right before the Fed meeting ended, as he was talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to be another term, blah, blah, blah. We entered calls at that point. And then we rolled the calls up all the way. And then we bought some puts at the top, and then I sold those puts. But essentially, my thought process is yes, we closed bullishly. All right, so let's just look at the chart. Yes, we closed bullishly, right? But there's a huge issue that we could not break above 408.5 on the SPY, and then we couldn't even test 409.5 on the SPY, which is essentially this lower wick here. This would have been a very good, solid level for us to close above. We could not even test it. So that is not a really, really good sign. So the fact that we closed below those two levels made me hesitant to hold a big long position overnight. Obviously, this can continue going on upwards. But, I mean, the Fed didn't say anything bullish. He was blatantly bearish. Unless I'm completely missing the meeting and I completely just don't understand what was going on. He didn't say anything good. There was no good news. So the only thing that's causing the market to pop up now is short covering and technical analysis. So the shorts, they would want at least 410 to 411. And in my opinion, 415 on the SPY would be a great opportunity to go short. But those were going to be my upward targets. But now the fact that we couldn't even test 410 today, very, very stupid. It was very, very worrisome. And it had a lot to do with the way that the Fed had to answer the questions. But now pragmatically, right, we did technically close above 405, 406. But now 410 is the major level of resistance. So we're back again in a zone. All right, we couldn't break completely above everything today, which is completely fine. But again, we're in this zone now. As long as we're above 405 to 406, we should continue to be bullish. All right, and 410 should be on the table. But the longer it takes us, if tomorrow we don't end up breaking above 410 tomorrow, I don't see how. I mean, honestly, like there could be some reason why we end up falling tomorrow and then bouncing back on Thursday. That would be very unlikely. But for now, we're taking it one level at a time. We have support at 405 to 406, and we have resistance at 410. And really, the upward target that I would want at least is 415 on the SPY. Like that's very justifiable. But the fact that the Fed had a very, very bearish meeting, it's going to make that much more difficult. And today we could clearly see that we didn't even test anything. So without repeating everything that I'm saying, blah, 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 really there's not much else to talk about for the SPY. Now, the only thing that's a bit worrisome to me is that on the last Fed meeting on May 4th, we couldn't break above 430 and we closed right at the top of this zone here. And then the next day was super, super red and we just started falling lower. That is the only thing that I'm basically afraid of, because that would be similar to what is going on today. We couldn't break above, we couldn't even touch 409, let alone 410. So this is sort of worse than what happened here, because at least on this day we had a strong green candle. For today, after the Fed meeting, we didn't have that strong of a move. It was only about 3-4 points after he spoke, right? So yeah, man. So that's what I'm worried about here. But yeah, we're at resistance and we're above support. Take it one level at a time. The other thing is that Apple couldn't even break above the prior low. 150 was a very strong psychological level. Couldn't even break and close above 150. And I'm sure that is also going to have to do a lot with, the fact that, you know, inflation and demand and China news and everything. But Apple is a good indicator of how strong the market is. And we wanted to see a strong green candle, but we couldn't. We could also take a look at Tesla. Tesla could have been stronger as well. We didn't even close above yesterday's high. Yeah, so I mean, overall, we just have to take it one level at a time. There's nothing screaming at us in terms of screamingly bullish. But for now, you know, that's really it. As long as the SPY is trading above 405 to 406, we should remain bullish. And the next level of resistance is 410. So there's that for the entire stock market. I hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. I'm going to talk about the crypto market, but please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto market. This doesn't really look too bullish either, if I might say so myself. I mean, we're holding 28. We held 30, I guess. But again, there's nothing screaming bullish here. Usually what we would have looked for is if Bitcoin was extremely, extremely strong, but the equities candle for the SPY or the NASDAQ wasn't as strong. The fact that Bitcoin was very strong would be a good indication of continued move in the equities. But they take turns pumping. So maybe the fact that the stock market is moving up could be a good reason that we move upwards. Tomorrow we could see 31.5 at least, and then 32.5. Those would be two good areas for us to bounce up towards. And yeah, as long as the stock market is acting bullish, as long as the SPY is trading above 405 to 406, Bitcoin should remain bullish and it should start catching some bids. All right. So really, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.